Hello all. So as in the previous session, we discussed about the different number functions which could be used along with the calculated fields. And in this session, we will just get an idea on the different types of string functions that you can use it in Tableau. So string functions, why do you use a string functions is of course if you wanted to manipulate some kind of string data, which means the data which is something which is made out of text. If you wanted to do some kind of manipulations with that string data, then you make use of the various string functions which is available, and you make use of the string functions in your calculated fields. Okay, so there are various kind of functions that you could be used along with the string. So let's get inside our Tableau environment to get a glimpse of what are the different types of string functions which is available in Tableau. Let's get started. Let's get inside our Tableau environment. So this is our Tableau environment, as you know. Now what we wanted to do is that we just wanted to make use of your calculated field. All right. So I'm just closing all of these things. So I'll just keep this as my sample. Okay. So in this sample, what I'm going to do is that I'm just trying to make use of all of the string functions. Okay. So first thing is I have something called as an ASCII. Okay. So ASCII is the function which you know that it is going to return the ASCII code for the first character of the string. Okay. So if I will give it as ASCII of A, okay, ASCII of A, if I'm going to give it like this, okay, then it is going to give me some value. Okay. So what I will do is I have just created this calculated field called a sample. I'll just place it here. Okay. And then I'm just going to see it as a text. Okay. You can see that ASCII of A is what I have given, and what is the result which I have got is actually 65. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this only to edit to show all of the different functions to you. All right. So now we know we can use an ASCII function along with a string. Now one more function what you have is actually car. So let me just go and search here what is the meaning of a car function. So what you try to do with a character function is that you will try to use this function in this manner. There is a character and then you can give an integer value here. Okay. Suppose for example, I'll give character of 65. Okay. So what it is going to do means it is going to convert this given integer to its corresponding ASCII code. Now what we saw earlier was that ASCII of A was given as 65. Now what we have done is character of 65 is what we have used it. So now click on OK. Now it has been updated. So let me just place it here in my marks. Let me just label it. Okay. So you can see that a character of A is a function which you will use it whenever you wanted to find out the ASCII code for the given number. Okay. So this is one more string functions that you can make use of it. Now, again, I'm going to go ahead with the sample itself, and then I'm going to do some kind of editing here. So I'm going to make use of the next function in string. Okay. So what is the string next function that I'm going to use is that contains is the function that I'm going to use it. Okay. So if I will go and type here, what is the meaning of my contains function? So how do I pass this contains function means I'm going to pass the string as well as the substring. I have to pass it. Say for example, I'm passing the string as sample. Okay, I have used the string as sample, and then I'm going to use my substring. So my substring would be LE. This is my substring. Okay, so now I will just close this. And then what I'm going to say is that is equal to true. Okay. So if it contains, then it is going to give me a true. Okay. So otherwise it is not going to give me a true. Okay. So let me just click on OK. So it will return the value. Let's see how it is giving us the output. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this sample. Okay. And then let me just make it as a text. You can see that it is giving us a true because that the substring was present in that. Now let me just go ahead and edit that as well. So maybe I will give it as UN. Okay. Okay. So now I'm clicking on OK. Now what I'll do is I'll just push the sample over here and make it as a label here. See, now it is giving me a false. So you can understand this particular function contain how it works. Okay. Now similarly, you have one more function which is called as an end with. Okay, let me just go to, I'll just edit this itself. So this is one function that we have seen. Now next function what we are going to see is ends with is the function name. Okay, this is the function name. And how do I use this? Means again I have to use this with a string as well as a substring. Same way how did I use my contain, right? So let me just give sample itself as my string, and my ending is here it is LE. So let me just give it as EL, and then I am going to give this is equal to true. Okay. So now my calculation is being created. Okay. So now I'll just put this into my text. So you can see here it is giving me a false just because I just used a different one. Okay. So now this is working fine. The next string function that we need to understand is basically finding. Okay. So finding is one more thing. So let us get inside our, let me just edit it. So the next function that we are going to use is find. Okay. So how do I find this? Means again, I have to find a string, substring, then I have to mention my start. Okay. So, yeah, so let me just use in this manner. Okay. What I'm going to do is my string is going to be sample. Okay. Then my substring is going to be, yeah, my substring is going to be an maybe I'll give something else like, amp is the substring that I'm going to give. Okay, fine. Then what it is going to ask me is it's a comma and I have to mention it as start. Okay, so actually it is starting from 2, right? 0, no, yeah, let me just give the 2 itself. Okay, and yeah, so that's the way you have to use it. So let me just give here just the error. Okay, I'm missing an operator. Okay, let me just give 2 and then I'll give it as true. Okay, let me just see how to use this function. So it is basically find, right? Yeah, so example is here. Yeah, find calculation. Okay, I have to give it as is equal to 2. Okay, like this, and then is equal to 2. Okay. Okay, so now this function is created. Okay, now I'll put this down in my marks card, change it to my text. Okay, so that is giving me an answer as true because we already saw why it is true, right? So that is the way you can make use of the function called as finding. Okay, so similarly we have one more function which is actually finding the nth one of your string. Okay, so suppose for example you can just use it like this. Say for example, let me just get inside here itself, edit. What I'm going to use is instead of a find, I'm going to use a find with. Okay, not getting it. Okay, find nth it is. Yeah, it is find nth. So find nth I have given. So how do I use this? String, substring as well as occurrence I have to give it. Okay. And now let me just give it a sample itself is my string. And then my substring, let me just give it as yes. Okay. And then I have to say the occurrence as well. So I'll give the occurrence as 1 and it is equal to 2. Okay. So click on OK. Now I'm going to push this to marks card and then label it. Okay. So it is giving me a value 0 because of the reason that whatever I showed was actually wrong, right? So let me just edit it now. See what I have done here is S is first one I have said, right? So this is basically wrong. So that's the reason. So find nth is going to return the position of the nth occurrence of your substring, right? So that's why it was giving me an answer as 0. And then we have one more which is called as a left one. So left is another function that you could use along with the string. So if you give a left and then if you give the string and the number of characters, okay. So say for example, my string is actually sample itself is the string, and then I'm going to give the number of characters. Maybe I will give as 3, okay. And it should actually give me 3 characters, right? So let me just click on, okay. So click on OK. So now I'll put this here. Okay, now it has given me the first 3 characters. And then length is there. Length is one more function that you could make use of with string. So again, a length is just you have to give the string. So it is just going to give you the length of the string, right? So you can just give your string, which is your sample is your string. So I'm just going to use the sample string itself. Okay. So click on OK. Now I'll put this in marks card and show the text. So you can see that there is a 6 value because that's the length of your string, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So similarly, you have a lower is there. Lower will basically change your uppercase to lowercase. So let us just go to edit, and then if you will change it to lower, yeah, lower is the function, and click on OK. So now when I put this here, you can see that I have got this lowercase here. Yeah, but it was already in lowercase. That's why you are not able to find out the difference. Okay. Then we have a Ltrim function basically. And yeah, let me just go to edit. Then we have an Ltrim function. So Ltrim, we have to just pass on a string basically. So you will just pass on the string. Let me just pass the string as a sample itself. So what this Ltrim will try to do is that it will return the string with any leading spaces. If it is there, it will remove that and then it is going to show me. So for us, it is going to obviously give us the same thing. So likewise, you have some more functions, which is your max function. So max is like, you can use it with along with A and B. So the maximum of A and B, you can find it out by making use of this. Suppose, for example, you give maximum of apple and banana. So that will give me the answer as banana. So that is the meaning of an maximum function. And then you can have a mid function. So mid is one more string function that you can make use of it. So mid is another string function. So this is going to be used in this manner. So you have your string basically. So string is nothing but I'll give it as string as sample, and then I have to give the starting, okay, and then I have to give the length. Okay, so if I am going to give all these things, what it is going to do means it is going to return the character from the middle of a text. Okay, so wherever we have given a starting position, right, from that, I mean, suppose if the position I have given it as, let us do this better. So what is the thing is that we have something called as a mid. Okay, so mid is the function that I'm going to use it. So what I'm going to give is sample is the string which I'm going to give. and then I'm going to say the starting of it. Okay, so start, I will say it as 2. Okay, and then length, what I'll say is that yeah, so let me just use it in this way. So 2, and then I'll just give the equivalent to maybe PLE. Okay, okay, so this is the way you can actually make use of your mid function. So click on OK. Now I'll drop this. So I'm just going to put this here. So now you can see what are the result which is there. So it's giving me a false because I just gave, yeah, let us get back to our sheet to explain. So I have given, it should start from 2, okay, 0, 1, it should start from M, right? So that's the reason. So now let me change it here, click on OK. Okay, and then let me just pull it off here. And then if I will change it to text, then yeah, it is giving me the answer. So this is one more function that you could probably make use of it. This is one more string function. Then again, you have minimum, and then you can make use of replace also is another string function which you can make use of it. So edit, if you could just to show you, replace is one function that you can use. How do you give this replaces? You have to give the string, and with what substring you wanted to replace it with, you have to mention that. Okay, suppose for example I have replace, just if this is my string. Okay, I have a string as version 8.5. So this is the string I have. Okay, and then I just wanted to give the substring as 8.5, and then I wanted that substring 8.5 to be replaced as 9. Okay, so this is how I wanted this to be replaced. Okay, so let us just give as okay, and then let me put this, so text. Okay, see, this is giving just a version, just because of the reason I did not write that is equal to the version 9. Okay, so if I would have written that, then it would have given me the answer as version 9. So similarly, you have write and then write string we have. And yeah, let me just get inside my sample, edit. Okay, so now we have one more function which is called as a write function that could be used with string and the number of characters. And then you have rtrim function, which will take up a string, and then it is going to return a string with any trailing spaces. If it is there, it is going to remove, and then it is going to give. And then we have a space function. So space is something which you will be using it with a number. So once you give it with a number, it is going to return a string which is composed of the specified number. Okay, so then you can use a split function which is there. Okay, split function is there. So finally, let us just use this in our visualization. How do you create your string calculation? Let us do that. Okay, so now what we have here is that there is a sample superstore, we are there already. Okay, now what we will take is, we will take the order ID. Okay, order ID is basically a string format, right? A text format. So let us drag this order ID to our rows. Okay, so what it is consisting of, if you see, it is consisting of values for the country, and that's CA, and what else is there? So CA and US is there for, I mean, it's for an example, and then this denotes your year, and then these are your order numbers. Okay, so what we will do is, we will try to create a calculation to pull only the order number from the field. Okay, you have like this, from this you will pull only the order number, right? So for that, what you need to do, you need to create a calculated field, right? So let us get inside our sample itself. if it is there. Yeah. So let us get inside our sample itself because we have already created that. So what I have to do is that which function I need to use it, because I just wanted to just have only the order ID, right? I have to remove the country name and country code and the date I need to, year I need to remove it, just only the things. So for which I will be making use of the function write. Write is the function that I will use it. On what I am going to use the function? I am going to use it on my order ID. I'm going to use it on my order ID. And then if you will count it 1 2 3 4 5 6 it is okay. So I'm just going to give the 6. Okay, so that's all. Apply it, click on OK. Okay, now our sales is there. Now what we will try to do is that we will see it's like CA, this one is there and this is there, right? So 6 I have given it, so correct. Okay, so now what we can do is that we will just take out this sample and then we'll just put it in our dimensions. Okay, now you can see here it has extracted only the order ID as such. Okay, so this is the way you can actually make use of the string function in your calculated field. So this is the last visualization that I wanted to show to you to understand how you can make use of the different string functions that we have seen. Okay, so that's all I have for this session. Thank you.